Hello everyone, Stan Dane here. Wrong Way Shadows. I want to highlight some great research over at Rock that helps to further exonerate Lee Oswald. It's located in the backyard photography thread. It has to do with the well-known backyard photos of Oswald where he is shown holding a rifle and some pamphlets in different poses. These pictures were found by the Dallas police after Oswald's arrest, and there's much ongoing controversy as to whether the pictures are real or fakes. Why? Because there's so many things about the pictures that just look odd, such as the unusual stance that he's in, the sameness of the background in each photo, the shape of the chin to known pictures of Oswald. Here's a blow-up of one of the backyard pictures compared to a mugshot picture of Oswald. You can see a difference in the chin, a little more pointy looking in the mugshot picture as compared to the backyard picture where it looks more square. During one interrogation, Oswald denied these were pictures of him when he was shown them. He said it was his face, but not his body. So he claimed that they were fakes. All this stuff is well known, and I'm not going to go over it here. That's not my purpose. I do want to point out something different, something subtle but different, which is a part of the thread. It shows the pictures to be fakes. Terry Martin made a perceptive observation over a year ago. There's something peculiar about the shadows from the overhead power lines in the backyard photos. They don't move the same way Oswald's shadow does. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Right here, basically where the shadows are falling from the power lines on the posts. And right here, of course, is Oswald's shadow. This is a picture of the home where the backyard photos were taken, out in back, of course. You can see the power lines right there. Here's a current day picture, relatively current day picture of the same home, a couple of different views. The power lines are moved slightly to the west here over the years from 1963, but it's pretty much the same layout. In the afternoon, the shadows from these lines, they fall into the backyard. Now this is what Terry observed. I placed two of the backyard photos side by side and using the post in the first picture supporting the stairway as a reference point, I matched the sizes of the two pictures to be the same. That's the red line is really my reference. The yellow lines here they are, show the shadows that fall on the post. In the right image, the shadows are higher. I label the right image later, and I'll explain why in a moment. And over in the later picture, you can see they're higher. The pink line shows the top of the shadow of Oswald's head in the left or earlier picture. In the later photo, the shadow is much, much lower. The green line shows the relative position of Oswald's feet has not really changed. In other words, he hasn't moved towards the camera in the later picture. They're about the same, but same distance to the camera. What does this mean? Well, as the sun moves west, shadows from the power line move up the post because the shadows get longer as the sun gets lower. That's why the right image is labeled later. The sun has advanced more west when this photo was taken as compared to the right earlier photo. While we see the shadows rising on the post from left to right, we don't see the same effect with Oswald's shadow. We see just the opposite. The shadow of Oswald's head is lower on the fence instead of being higher. That right there tells you something is wrong. And that's what Terry saw. That's what he noted. And that's what he mentioned in the thread. Is there any way we can test or model this? Yes, there is. Thanks to some great work by Jake Sykes over at Rock, we have a model that confirms what our eyes are telling us. Now, Jake modeled a home on Neely Street using 3D modeling software, using some careful approximations based on Google map scale and various dimensions from a variety of photos available on the internet. And the power line locations reflect where they were as best it can be determined in 1963. One of the features of the software is that the model can be geolocated. As a result, the shadows in the background can be generated for every minute of every day of the year. Now you can see right here with this model, the shadows are shown, given there's a time inputted, time of day, a month and a year, and based on the model, you can see how the shadows fall. But what we really want to focus on is this animated graphic next here. As you can see, as the minutes tick by, which means the sun moves farther west and gets lower, the shadows rise on the posts, and they rise more rapidly on the posts than they would on the ground. But what you also see is the head shadow rises as well. Assuming a person is standing there stationary, his head shadow should be creeping up the fence. But we don't see that in the backyard photos. So either Oswald walked toward the camera between the earlier and later photos, and he does appear to be larger in the later picture, and that might explain why the head shadow is lower, or the pictures are fake. But that's why I did the green line, to show that, relatively speaking, he's in the same position. He hasn't moved forward, even though the body looks a little bit bigger. That's one of the another weird thing about these pictures. So I think the backyard photos are fake, and this great analysis by Jake and the observations of Terry are just more confirmation of that. The photos always looked weird. Here's what Lee Harvey Oswald had to say on November 23rd while he was in custody. That picture is not mine, but the face is mine. The picture has been made by superimposing my face. The other part of the picture is not me at all, and I have never seen this picture before. I understand photography real well, and that in time I'll be able to show you that it's not my picture and that has been made by someone else. Well, a day later, he was dead. Hope you enjoyed this video. There's some great books here available on Amazon. And this is Stan Dane signing off. Thank you, and keep on rocking.